One. Welcome everybody. This is Chris T. Welcome to Fight Right with Chris T, where we're going to be talking about some health-related issues with arms for gamers. I know that I suffer a lot with it, but on today's episode, we have Dr. Drew Schwartz. He's from the Cleveland Clinic. Welcome to the show, Dr. Drew. Thank you for coming on to the show, and I'm excited to talk to you about some of this stuff.
Hey, what's up? I'm excited too. Like this is what like I work on general population like all day, but like I love gaming and I love working with gamers and I've been doing it for a while. So like this is my wheelhouse.
Forte.
I love this stuff. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I want to just jump right in. We've had a couple conversations before about things that I could do with my arms, and I feel like the general public of gamers could really benefit from the advice that you have and from the experience that you have. Because, like I said, you work at Cleveland Clinic. And how many years have you been doing this, Drew?
Yeah, so I've been in private practice for 8.5, almost 9 years.
Mhm.
So I went to undergrad, 4 years, graduated biology major, chemistry and
Awesome.
neuroscience minor, and then went to chiropractic school for another 4 years basically, and then moved up to Cleveland. And then so I've been here for about 8 or 9 years, and I recently left private practice and joined Cleveland Clinic about 3 months ago. And then I have been doing my blog, working with gamers, and the blog covers like reviews and like what to do with back pain, what to do with headaches, what to do with thumb pain,
Yeah.
um,
And
all
you've
that stuff.
and you've worked with like the best top gamers from like League of Legends and Call of Duty and stuff like that, right? Like you've
Well,
got
I've worked at like local like Cleveland ones, which is I always tell everybody like obviously Cleveland is not the esports tech hotbed because it's Cleveland,
yeah.
right? But we're getting there and we're doing some really cool stuff here. I've worked with Cav Legion for 2 years, and then with Cleveland Clinic, we'll be working with him. We actually just announced it. We'll be working with him for the remainder of the season, hopefully in house soon, doing some different stuff.
Awesome.
And then I've worked with like some League of Legends players in Europe that I can't like divulge, like some
No,
of
of
the top
course.
guys, which is really cool. Like that was really fun. I did like 2 years ago with one of the major guys that had an injury in Worlds. Um, and then yeah, I've worked with like other random League of Legends players and a couple Apex players because those are the games I love playing.
Yeah.
Um, Unlike you, I am absolute garbage at fighting games. Like it's bad.
Hey, I
It's
see the
really bad.
Nintendo controller in the background, so I think of Super Smash.
You
You
see
have
that? You
the
see
you have the
this
pouches
Smash?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I play Smash, and like me and my sister played N64. So like Mario Kart, we'll play there, and we still play it today. Like on holidays,
Yeah.
it's like screaming matches. Like
It has to
you're
be.
so garbage, and then like Koopa Troopa Beach when you got to hit the jump over
Of
into the
course.
tunnel. I'll put like a banana there, and she'll be like, "Are you kidding me?" So we just like scream match, and then we play Smash too. And I love playing Smash. I'm a Captain Falcon guy.
Okay,
So
so it's funny that you
yeah,
actually mentioned Smash because the controller that I see in the background right there, that's literally known in the fighting game community to cause carpal tunnel. Like that controller and Smash put together are known to really fuck up your hands.
it's so
Just
close and it's
yeah,
so tight.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it has this like weird strong hand type of claw looking
yeah, yeah.
grip on it, and I don't know how
I
you
call
do
it
that.
grocery hand because like when you carry a ton of grocery bags and you let go of them, your hands like mangled, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
you're like the hands don't bend like this. It's like
uh-huh,
yeah, like those like for instance like those guys like those that I guess like the handles that come out are so small, so you're gripping so tight constantly,
yeah.
and then it's tons of movement like that. So yeah, I can
So
see that for sure.
So with I guess we can use like myself as an example throughout this conversation. I know that I've had friends throughout the years. Like I've been a professional fighting game player now for 12 years, since I was about 14 years old. And throughout the years, man, I've had good friends of mine that have had to literally retire from competing because of the type of pain that they've received in their arms. And it's mainly associated in the arms. It's mainly located in the arms, like in the tendon area near the elbow. They call it tennis elbow, tendonitis. Um, and that pain, I never understood how bad it was. And I would literally troll them. I'd be like, my arm, and my fucking
Yeah,
arm, you know? And then it hit me. And when it hit me, I was like, oh God, like this is this is really painful, and this is gonna change the way that I have to approach my profession in gaming because I can no longer devote 8 to 10 hours a day into playing. And I know all gamers out there When we grind. We play over and over and over, especially something like a fighting game where you're just rematch, 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 take a short break and then rematch, rematch. So this that constant use over the years has really affected me, and I know that there's listeners out there that they start feeling pain in their arms. So could you explain like what is happening to the muscle, like to the tendon, over the years of just these excessive usage of the arms?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of, it's stuff. I haven't worked with a ton of fighting game players, but I've worked with a ton of like league guys and like a lot of controller, mouse, keyboard stuff. So
Yeah,
it's pretty much the same. Like it's repetitive stress. So it's like it's trauma, right? They're called micro traumas. It's not a lot, but it adds up.
yeah,
Like that 8-10 hours when you're playing, like that adds up. You got to think of it like if you have an actual injury, like a terrible like sports injury, that's a big trauma. You see it and it's fine. But those micro traumas, you don't really see them, and then all of a sudden they just creep up on you, and you're like,
hmm,
why is it sore? It wasn't sore yesterday. Well, it was, but it just wasn't into that like pain threshold, and your body and your mind registering saying, oh, we got pain down here now. You probably had it before, and you're like, oh, that's fine, and just rub it, and it's fine.
yeah,
But it's like a micro trauma and a chronic inflammation, chronic little micro tears within the tissues, and it just causes a lot of pain. And then when it causes that pain, then you alter your mechanics a little more, and then you're, that tissue's not meant to work in that capacity. So then
yeah,
it kind of snowballs a little more, and you get a little more pain, and you just kind of try and tweak it, but you don't really get any relief, and you probably like use some Advil, you probably toss some ice in there, and you're like, it's not getting better, and then you go to your primary, and the primary, you know, isn't in the game like gaming or
they
anything like
don't
that. She's just like,
understand. They're like, oh,
just
that's a
just
thing.
take a
Like,
break.
yeah, yeah, just
Just
take a
take a
break.
break, man. You'll be fine. You're
And
like, okay, cool. Well, that's how I make a living. So if you want to take a break from being a doctor because you're mentally stressed, okay, I'll see you in 2 months.
yeah,
It doesn't, it's a like
I feel
I don't
like,
think they just don't get it,
yeah, they just don't get
and
it.
so they just think like, oh, it's like a hobby. Like, no, man, like this is how I make my money. I either stream or I make it in competition. So you have to know like how to utilize that. And I know like I think gamers kind of use it as a badge of honor to be like, oh, I played 10 hours today. Cool, dude. But you probably like 2 3 hours in, you're like, you're shot, like you're mentally shot, you're playing crappier, you're tilted, you're getting pain, and then you kind of push through it, and then you wonder the next day why you're sore. And it's just like, if no one tells you that, you're just like, I don't know why, but if someone tells you, like, oh, well, I'm an idiot,
Yeah, no,
So it's like,
100%.
I think it's more about looking at that tissue and looking at your practice time and being efficient with it. Like being, yeah, play 2 hours. Okay. Take a break, do some self mobilization, ice the area, do some light stretching, get some mobilization. And while you're doing that, you can be watching like YouTube VODs, or you can be watching, um, you know, editing a video for YouTube or doing something like that. You can do productive things in that time. That's so you don't feel like you're wasting time, but you're not wasting time because you're treating
Your hands are
a
not on
mechanism.
the machine.
Yeah,
That you can
but you're doing
still
something productive
correct.
for it. So I think looking at it that way is very important. And the other biggest thing and especially with gaming, is like it's a mental break. You need that mental break because I know like so last night I put in like a late session playing League, like
Okay.
disgusting amount. I played like me and my buddies played from like 10:30 to like 3 in the morning,
Oh
right?
God. I don't even
Just
know how you
just
play League, bro. I get so bored from watching League. That's
but
not.
I knew it was dumb, right? And
Yeah.
so but at the end like I could tell the other two guys I was playing with were getting more tilted.
Hmm.
And I wasn't getting tilted because one, I'm a jungler. So if you're a jungler, like you get flamed regardless if you're winning or losing because you did something wrong, right?
Okay. Okay.
But the other thing is that like in between those, like I would get up, I would move, I would just do some light stretches, just getting blood flowing, breaking up that positional kind of pattern, and getting blood rolling through your body engages your mind, gets blood flowing to your brain, gets you a mental reset, gets you a vision reset, and it's so important to like take those breaks and be productive when you're playing,
Yeah.
because playing 10 hours or playing two sets of 2 hours and 2 hours and be productive with it is so much better for you. It's night and day how
Yeah.
much better it is. But I just hate how gaming has always been like a badge of honor to grind, and it's like you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
And like coming from a player that was like, I was really good at Halo 1 and really good at Halo 3 back in
Okay.
the day.
I
And
respect
then
that. I
even
respect that.
even Modern Warfare 2, like
Woo.
we were playing some game battles. Like we would play some game battles when that was going on. Like when
Hell
I was in
yeah.
Cairo School, we were playing. So I love playing
Damn,
shooters.
in Cairo
And
school and doing game battles on Modern Warfare 2, that's godlike, bro. That is
Modern
godlike.
Warfare 2 and Black Ops. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love those.
That's the
And
golden
so
era. That's the golden era of Call of Duty right
those are
there,
the
man.
best Call of Duty. And then Warzone
Easy.
was good for a while, but like
Nah, nothing beats
yeah.
Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Nothing, no Call of Duty.
No.
Other
Yeah, I
than,
know.
and asterisks, but put World at War. World at War, I fuck with World at War heavy. I love World at War. That
I
was a
never played
god.
that. My first Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 2, and I played it. I was like,
Oh,
this is amazing.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just ran around with the UMP and just destroyed people. It was so
That,
fun. Yeah,
that
yeah.
is that is the best.
But but like, doing doing things that are productive during time, like that's huge.
It is.
Like mentally, physically, and just for longevity of your career. Like gaming careers are so short. It is
Hmm.
insane. It's like 2-3 years and you're like thrown to be a streamer, like
Yeah.
because you're done. I think there was an Overwatch player from Dallas Fuel that just retired, and the dude was like early 20s,
Yeah.
just because of injury. Because the I don't want to like say like the people around him didn't like know what was
Warn
going
him
on,
or
but
help him or
yeah, but there's ways to look at that, and that should never get to that stage.
yeah,
So
especially early 20s. Like I'm 26 now. I started feeling this pain at 22. 22, 23 is when it started
yeah,
hitting like in my because in the year of 2017 and 2018 is when I was like heavily trying to qualify for Capcom Cup, which is like the Super Bowl of Street Fighter. And when you're trying to compete for something as prestigious as that and qualify for it, you have to put in a lot of hours into the game, into your craft because I've been to Japan a couple of times, and the way that the Japanese players grind, I'm glad that you actually mentioned this, like the badge of honor, right? In
yeah,
in in the gaming world, there is this badge of honor. Like I grind like at least 8 to 10 hours a day, and this is and that. And when I went to Japan, like I was there for 2 weeks. Every day I was playing for like 12 hours with the Japanese players. Like they can go on
nuts.
for hours. And the crazy thing is, I don't know if it's like in the Japanese DNA, man, but they don't get any arm pain like this. Like
I was just gonna ask you. Yeah,
I've never heard, I've never seen a Japanese top player deal with tendonitis or hand pain. Maybe they have it and they've never said anything about it, but I've never in
that
my
could also
life
be it too.
seen something like
Yeah,
that. Whereas it's way more like you hear way more about it with American players, with players
yeah.
outside of Japan. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I need some Japanese DNA or something. Like I don't know what's going on with them.
Jurassic Park style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
get like a mosquito.
and
Yeah.
and the
Well, it could be diet. It could be diet as well and lifestyle.
yeah,
Like it definitely, Japanese diet is so much better than American diet
100%,
typically.
100%. So
So, it's not a lot of red meat. It's not a lot of inflammatory. It's a lot of like fresh vegetables.
mhm,
It's not a lot of, I don't know if they're slamming, like energy drinks and stuff like that. So that could be a huge component too.
yeah,
And then I would also like reach out to like some of those Japanese players like, hey, because warming up prior to working out, like doing a gaming session sounds dumb, but
yeah,
it is essential.
okay,
Because not only, once again, does it get your tissue ready, it gets you in that mindset to say, like, hey, I'm warming up now. Because your mind subconsciously will get into that. Like when you're warming up, you're like, all right, I'm getting ready to play. I'm getting ready to do stuff. I'm getting focused, getting engaged. Where if you just like go 0 to 60 and sit down, your mind hasn't got into that mode yet. You know what I mean? So that's
absolutely,
another key component too. So I'd reach out to those guys and just say like, hey, are you doing warm ups before? Are they doing cool downs? What should be? Because once again, typically they're more active than American players and North American players. That's just the culture is so much better for like health. Like health is really big there, and
yeah.
here it's like I just want to sit, grind, and it's shotgun Red Bulls. It's like
Shotgun Red
no,
Bulls and
no, you got to be doing, you
hey,
got to be doing stuff.
Red Bulls
Yeah.
save, bro. The Red Bulls have gotten us through many tournaments, man.
When I drive, like when I'm doing a long drive, I got Red Bulls.
Yeah.
I got sunflower seeds, and I'm good. I'll stay awake. I'm like a truck driver. Like I'll be
The
all day.
sunflower seeds. Oh man, you might be a little Middle Eastern or something. All of us, whenever we drive, we have sunflower seeds. And we just pop them and then
Oh,
uh,
it's like a huge Minnesota thing. Like
is it?
sunflower seeds are like the jam. Yeah, you have
Uh,
to, and you got to get Daisy. You can't mess with anything. Well, Daisy and Giant.
okay,
That's it.
I
I
feel
don't
you.
mess with anything else. Yeah.
Okay, so there was a lot of things that you mentioned right there that I wanted to actually talk about as well. So one of the first things that you said was applying ice and or heat, and then that I wanted to correlate that with pre-gaming stretching and working out. So you said that it might sound dumb to literally like stretch your hands or to get them ready to play, but I feel like over the past couple of years, that's helped out so much for me to just get my hands warmed up. And what I do is, besides like doing the regular stretches, like the one where you pull your, hand back and forward, um, I will literally run some hot water through my arm and my hand just to get a little bit. We try to conserve as much water as we can. I'm not just dumping it on it, but I'll try to get some
Yeah,
hot water just running through it and just massage it just a little bit just to get it warmed up and ready to play because I've noticed that if I go in cold, it sparks up and it starts hurting after like an hour. But if I have that running hot water through it before I play for at least like 5 to 10 minutes, then my gaming schedule just opens up a lot more. Like I could play for a little bit longer, and it doesn't hurt as much. And I wanted to ask, from your personal experience with dealing with gamers, and just from your studies and all of that, what is the better form of taking care of your arms? Is it applying heat or is it applying ice? Because I hear so many different things from doctors. Like I'll have doctors tell me, "Oh, put ice on it," and I'll have other doctors be like, "No, no, no, don't put ice, put heat on it." And I'm like, "Bro, I don't know what the fuck to do right now. Like, do I put heat on? I got both ice packs and heat on it. I'm just slapping
yeah,
it on. Like what do you personally think is better? Is it like is one better for one thing and another better for another thing? Because I honestly don't know, and I don't know which one to use at what time.
yeah. So I think warming up with the heat. You don't ever want to use ice when you're about to do in a competition. Like you want to get blood flow to the area. That's why you're putting heat on it. Is it's getting blood flow to the area. It's warm. It's warming it up. It's getting those tissues pliable. Everything like that. So heating prior, a little bit. That's great. I would honestly say if you want to do like heating before, I would try like a warm washcloth, wring it out, pop it on there, and then
Ooh.
do your dynamic stretches through it more so than just like running water on it because it's that moist heat that just stays on there. It's going to make those tissues more pliable and then do those stretches through it. And I'm a big fan of dynamic stretches, and there's been like mixed reviews where like, is it you do dynamic stretches before you warm up? Do you do static stretches before you warm up? And I find that I like dynamic more. So what I mean by dynamic, like I'm just going like this and moving rather than like a static stretch through here.
Oh.
Because static is good and it's kind of like mixed. I've
So
read different studies where it's
static
mixed,
is when you're actually
like
pulling, like
holding it.
holding it, right? And
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah,
usually do. I do the one where I
yeah,
extend my hand and then I'll pull on this for like 20 seconds and I'll feel it all right here. And this has helped me out quite a bit actually.
yeah.
But I never did like dynamic stretches. Like I
I mean, and each person has their own preference, right? But I would try a dynamic because I like dynamic more because one, you're still getting a lot of those like muscle cross bridgings to create force and to create um, kind of strength in the area, but also you're also getting that kind of neural connectivity where you're going through ranges of motion that you're going to be doing in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So it's kind of getting that neural connectivity to say, all right, we're warming up. This is a motion that we're going to do. Let's get these muscles for that specific motion ready and ready to go, rather than
mm,
just like you're not doing this when you're playing ever, right? You're not
right.
doing this when you play ever. Same thing when you look at like NFL guys warming up. You notice like they're doing a lot of like jumping and like skipping and stuff like that. Like
That's
those,
more dynamic.
yeah, that's more dynamic. And I mean, granted, they're not like prancing on,
You
you
kind
know,
of did little.
yeah, yeah. But at the same time, they're doing jumps, they're shifting, they're juking, they're doing stuff like that, and that's kind of a motion they'll be doing in a little bit. So I like heat prior, little dynamic stretching, and then when you're done, like when
How
you're
many minutes? How
done,
many minutes should I typically be stretching for
five
before
like
I
5 minutes. Anything, people aren't going to do more than 10. I just
I don't
know
have to
people
do
like
no
they
yoga
want to.
positions and all of that.
That'd be good. So like breaks, yes, but like if you're going to go, before you're warming up, putting that heat on, dynamic stretching for 5 minutes, you're good to go,
And you,
right?
you
I
suggested like a hot wet towel as well on it, just to
Yeah,
continue having
because
some
it's
heat on
it's
it.
a yeah, because you get that It's not like a heating pad where it's like dry heat, it's moist heat. It'll get to penetrate those tissues a little more. It just sits on there. It's super easy to do. You literally go to your bathroom, you squeeze it, and you pop it on there. It can't get much easier than that, right?
Yeah.
So doing that, doing some dynamic stretching. Now, when you're done, like you've had your 2 hour session, you've taken a like 15-minute break, done something productive, like reset your mind, look, reset your eyes, gotten a drinking water, hydrating, gotten a healthy snack, doing stuff like that. Then you go for another 2 hours, another 2 hours. When you're like done for the day, I'm a huge fan of icing. And when you're icing, same thing. Like I put a little lotion here, I put ice in a bag, and I do like a little massage, dynamic warm up, or like a dynamic movement throughout the ranges of motion. Um, because you want to decrease that inflammation. You want to decrease that irritation in that tissue. So when you are putting ice on there, that dissipates all that. I know heat feels good while it's on it, but 5-10 minutes later when you're done, it's going to feel the same, if not worse, because it's
Okay.
already inflamed and irritated. The tissue's already warmed up. There's fluid in there. There's blood in the area. There's micro traumas. There's metabolite kind of after products coming through. They're just sitting there, lactic acid, all that jazz, right? And so that's already in there. You need to get that out of there. Otherwise, you're gonna wake up the next morning, it's gonna feel sore. So that ice will do that. Lotion, ice massage, and then moving it through that range of motion again, because like we talked about before we started, like you're exposing different parts of that muscle belly.
Yeah.
So if you just kept it on there and just one spot, okay, that one spot's getting it. You're doing it dynamically where you're moving it through a big range of motion. You're moving that hand range of motion. There's different parts of that tissue that are getting exposed to it. And so it's breaking it down faster and cooling it down faster and getting that inflammation out of there a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently because people's attention spans are 5-10 minutes, right?
Oh
So
man.
if you can do this while you're watching a VOD or do it while you're watching, a stream or something like
Yeah.
that. So you're maybe you're learning something, you're doing something like that, but you're also taking care of your body, which is
Your
legit
money
your
maker.
job.
Your yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, your
exactly.
money maker. You have to take
That's
care of
like
it.
me being a chiro. Like my hands are like my money makers, so I have to take care of these guys,
Yeah.
right? And so it's the same thing. Like when I'm before I get working on patients, I do like a little like warm up while like reading emails or doing something like that. And like we talked about before, I took my hypervolt like earlier this week, and I just got into an area of my thumb that was just brutal from doing a ton of soft tissue throughout the week, and it sucked. It was awful,
Huh.
right? But like 5-10 minutes, I got through it, and I can move my thumb again, no issues.
Okay.
But you have to address that stuff. You can't just think like it'll magically go
Put
away.
it
When you,
aside, yeah, and that's what we do as gamers, man. We're
yeah,
degenerates. We are degenerates. We will play through it, and I'm glad that you brought up the massage gun, and I also wanted to ask about uh, inflammation. Now, there is something that my doctors have. We're gonna get into the massage gun because towards the end of this, I just want you to kind of show the dynamic stretches with the massage gun. How you've been doing it beautifully right now, just by showing with the ice and all of that that you could do. And you were showing me earlier with what I could do with the massage gun in those areas. I want you to show that as well. But you use the word inflammation. Now, this inflammation, the doctors that I've gone to, they've all told me, oh, you just need to not play for a while, or you just need to give it a rest. And we
yeah,
discussed that earlier, where, hey, bro, like I'm looking at him like, do you not understand what I'm saying? Like that's like me literally telling you don't go to work for like 2 months and then
yeah,
just yeah, like it doesn't work that way. I know that some of us that might be listening, they have jobs as well, which is awesome. I always tell gamers get a job as well because
yeah,
it makes your gaming just so much more comfortable, where you're not stressing out to like make money off of gaming. That's a whole different topic. But when it comes to inflammation, they always prescribe me anti-inflammatory pills or something Zobin, something something psilocybin, whatever it might be, right? And I'm like, what I wanted to ask is, I've heard that some doctors have told me, oh, don't take anti-inflammatory pills because you're gonna get addicted to those, or they're gonna clot up your stomach, or it's not gonna, it'll make it feel better for a little bit, but then you're gonna need to keep taking them, and that's gonna mess up your liver or your body. So what am I supposed to do with these anti-inflammatory pills that are helping me feel a little bit better, but like I don't want to have to take pills every single day in order for my hands and my
yeah.
arms to feel better. And because of that risk of like I need these pills every single day in order for me to feel better. You know, I shouldn't. I don't want to. I want it to be holistic. I don't want to have to rely on pills in order for anti-inflammatory pills to feel better. What is your stance as a doctor on anti-inflammatory pills? Like, how often should I be taking them, and how good do they work? I mean, I know it's an individual-based thing, but I know there's
Yeah.
people out there that do take anti-inflammatory pills, such as myself, and I've been kind of laying off of them so I don't have to rely on them and get addicted to them, you know?
Yeah. Well, like anti-inflammatories, I don't know if like you're not gonna get like addicted to them, and they
Addiction
will
in
cause.
terms of
Yeah,
like the
I
mental
need it every
addiction.
day.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
mental addiction. Not
yeah.
like my body's like scratching like Tyrone Biggins.
I
If
need
I,
Advil.
yeah, yeah, no, it's not like that, but it's like the mental
Yeah,
part of like, because
yeah,
I, you know, there's the placebo effect as well, where it's like if I didn't take it, it's like, do I start feeling my hand is hurting, or you get what I'm saying?
yeah. You know, I think anti-inflammatory, yes, they're good, you know, to decrease the pain initially. But like you talked about, like you want to take a holistic approach. Like, why is it occurring? That's what you need to address. It's not that like, you know, you taking those all of a sudden it's going to go away. No, you're the reason that tissue is injured and causing you pain is because you're not doing something right. Either your ergonomics aren't well or are good. Your biomechanics aren't good. Like, you know, how you're not warming up, you're not stretching, you're not icing, your diet sucks, you're not exercising regularly. Like, there's so many different components to that. And then like I said, the anti-inflammatory, like that is just a very small piece of the puzzle that initially is like a really good, like a good band-aid initially.
Yeah.
But you got to address like why it's happening. Otherwise, yes, it's going to continue to happen. And it's going to continue to get worse. And as you know, as you get older, it doesn't get any easier. Like, it's going to get worse. When you're like 16 to 20, like
20.
you don't have much pain, like, because your body's constantly regenerating. Your cell turnover rate is so much better when you're younger because you're still growing, you're still kind of doing, still maturing.
Absolutely. No,
So as
absolutely.
as you get
Absolutely.
20, then it just like your body's like, all right, now we're on the downward slope,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
so
The wrinkles
so
start
you
coming
need
out.
to address, yeah, you need to address like why it's happening. So anti-inflammatory is a good band-aid. That's what I'll say.
Hmm.
So you need, like I said, you need to look at everything. You need to look at your ergonomics. You need to look at the biomechanics of how you are holding the controller, or holding the pad, right? You need to address those things. And if if you have to play in one style, then you need to build up that tissue in that mechanic that you're playing in. Like, some people, like for shooters, will play claw. Claw's not ideal. And my stance on it is it's not good long term. But if you have to play like that, then you're going to have to build endurance in that tissue to play like that, because your hand is not, you know what I'm talking about when I play claw, right? Like, it's brutal.
Uh,
It's
uh,
kind of like people play like
oh,
this.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
So yeah, my stance in it, I don't like it. But
That'll
if you
give you
absolutely
the strong
yeah,
hand.
that'll give you a grocery hand.
Yeah.
That gives you a grocery hand. But like, if you absolutely have to play like that, okay, then you need to build up load in that tissue. You need to be stretching a heck of a lot more. You need to be doing self mobilization through that. You need to be icing, heating, doing all those things, eating super healthy, and working out on a regular basis to decrease as much inflammation in that tissue and in your body as you can.
Mm,
I would love if you could change that, but some people just aren't going to do that. So
yeah.
if you're not going to do that, then you got to do even more than someone else that's willing to change that.
Mm.
So once again,
The working
it's
out though.
it's yeah, yeah, it's tons of different mechanics. So one of the things that I developed last year, yeah, is called performance matrix. I look at it 6 different categories: sleep, exercise, nutrition, mental health, ergonomics, and I think that's 6. If not, I'm sure I'll get flamed in chat or in the comments. But
Nah, you're fine.
looking at
What
those,
is
you look at
ergonomics?
those.
I hear ergonomics. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
So ergonomics is like how you sit. Is the chair set up properly
Mm.
for load? Is
Damn, you're gonna
the
make me sit
controller
up
where you
straight
have the
now.
controller? Yeah. Is the controller sitting? where it should be, everything like that.
Yeah.
So a performance matrix is looking at 6 different categories, not only those 6 categories, but how they're interacting with one another.
Mm.
So like last night, I did a super late session, so my sleep sucked today. So now I didn't have as much energy in the morning, so I don't want to work out. So then the
Ah.
exercise goes down. And then as my exercise go down, well, then my mental health goes down because I'm not moving. And it's just snowballs on top of that. So you have to not only look at those different categories, you got to look how they're affecting one another too. So that's kind of like what I developed, like a little program last year, and I've done it with some League of Legends players and some Apex guys too. So it's so important for that, like to get that, look at it from like multiple different things and multiple different categories of health and well-being, rather than just like my hand hurts, pop a pill, done.
Gotcha.
No, look at whole picture. I always call it like the whole gamer approach. You have to look at it from a whole picture, not just like this guy's hand hurts. Okay, but why? What's
Yeah.
he doing? What's he doing in his daily life? Is he getting sleep? Like all those different things. So
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
super long-winded explanation of anti-inflammatories, but
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's literally perfect. I mean, like I
yeah.
said, man, like I've had a lot of conversations with fellow gamers that are professional players and average gamers that I've run into in tournaments and stuff, and we've talked about like hand pain and arm pain and stuff, and this is just all really good stuff. I wanted you to kind of show that the massage gun is what I advise all gamers now too, because a good buddy of mine, his name is Danny Pham. He bodybuilder, super cool dude, and he actually advised me to get one of these
Mhm.
massage guns, and I was like, you know what, like why not? Let's try it because what?
Yeah.
Oh, which leads me into what I was gonna ask as well. What I started doing is like going to massages, like physical therapy type massages, where I'll, like 45 to an hour, I'll pay like 40, 60 bucks, anywhere between 40 to 60 bucks. I'll try to get like a massage done at least twice a month because I feel like it really helps out with just the soreness and the pain that I feel and like just, the lady that I have, she's so awesome, dude. Like she'll undo all the knots and stuff in my arms and everything, and it'll feel painful for a day or two, but then it
Mhm.
starts feeling so much more relaxed and not as stiff. That's the problem too with gamers, that like I don't think we realize how stiff our shoulders and arms and hands are getting. And if you get a massage, like I'll highly recommend you guys to just go get massages on your arms at least like once or twice a month if you were constantly gaming, if you're trying to be a professional at it, because it's helped me out. I mean, I've been getting them now for at least the past 5, 6 months, and it has made a huge difference in just my comfort level and this massage gun right here. So like, I wanted you to show the camera again how you did earlier about how you're using it in these areas. Like for me, I just kind of, I'll turn it on. Let me just show real quick. For me, my pain stems from like the tennis elbow, like right here in this area. I'll show the camera as best as I can. So I'll have it running here for like 5 minutes, and then also on top of my forearm. I don't know if you guys can see, I'll have it running here. And then also for my hands, what I'll do is just kind of like have it running around like that. And this helps, man. Like again, 5 to 15 minutes on each arm after gaming, it does wonders on my body. So yeah, I wanted you to kind of show that as well.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this because once again, like same thing with massage, like you're mobilizing that tissue. You're like breaking down some adhesions in the muscle, not only in the muscle but in the fascia. You're making sure that the nerves are flossing through there and working well through there, because that numbness and tingling, it feels like it'll feel like you hit your funny bone. These things, two fingers will go numb. You're
Yeah.
like, why is that? It's because that nerve is not moving freely through that tissue. And so you have to break up those adhesions. You have to get that fascia, or like that connective skin that you probably see on like meat and stuff. It's like that clear silvery skin that has connections all the way through these muscles and kind of encapsulates them. So
Mm.
these massage guns are awesome. So I'm using this guy here, and so on like softer tissue like this, I'm a fan of using the ball.
Hmm.
So I'll turn this guy on. This is so aggressive. Yeah. Oh
Yo,
Jesus.
that-
Hold on one second. I gotta put that thing on a
that's
little
funny.
more.
I've never seen that happen before.
Jeez
That's
and
funny.
rice. I didn't put it in all the way, so it's on me. So now we got bloopers for the video. All right.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep that in. That's actually funny.
You got to keep that in. That's like a good, that's a good blooper there. All right, so this guy coming through here. So yes, like putting it through here is really good, but we had kind of discussed before. I always kind of go with, and when I do soft tissue, like with my hands on patients, I kind of like going towards the heart if we can, because you are moving fluid in there. You are moving, mobilizing that tissue, and you're moving fluid through there. So always kind of getting it towards the heart to kind of get that taken care of
Mm.
coming through here. So I like doing this, but I also like doing the movement through, because like we talked about before, like you got to expose different parts of that muscle belly, and you have to like get into all the nooks and crannies coming there. I just keep it like here. Cool. That's doing a
And
little bit.
that's what I
This
was
is
doing
this is
too. I was not
yeah,
doing none of those
yeah.
different muscle movements.
Yeah, because one, you're mimicking, you know, positions and movements that you're doing throughout the competition or whenever you're
Gaming.
gaming. Like when you're doing this, you're mimicking those issues, and you can like move your fingers through here and do different things. Because I can feel like, and you will too, like when you are doing this and you move different fingers, you're moving different muscles throughout that whole thing.
Yeah.
And so you're exposing different parts. So I'm going like this, and then when I'm doing like these extensors through this tennis elbow coming through here, same kind of thing. Let's see if we can get that going through here. I'm going.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. See, I was
My
never.
hands are like, my fingers are Skeletor, so I apologize for the
No, no, you're.
children watching, because they're like, what's that skeleton doing on camera? What's going on? So I'm just kind of like moving through here, and when I'm doing it, yeah, and like it hurts, it
It
sucks,
does. It
but
hurts.
you got to do it. So last week I was doing a ton of soft tissue on patients, and so my thumb was like brutal, and so I had to do it on myself.
Mm.
Make sure this thing's on so we don't get another blooper. All right. So same thing, like so my thumb was killing me in between kind of this big pad coming through here and the bone coming through here. So I had to get in between here, and it's still a little sore, and coming right through here, and I got that edge. This has a little edge on it, you can kind of see. So I got that edge, and when I was in there, I got in between there, and I'm moving it through there constantly. I
Are
kind of
you
move through there.
are you like I'm gonna try to word this as best as I can. Are you attacking the point where you feel pain, like where you feel when you
Yeah.
hit it on the spot, like you're not just going to a spot that doesn't really hurt, like you're digging in there and try, well,
Yeah.
maybe not like digging, but you want to at least feel like the soreness that you're feeling and you're working on it, right?
Yeah, so I go throughout that muscle through the insertion, the origin,
Hmm.
and then I'm working through that. So yeah, I know like if I'm on a pain spot, I'll sit in that guy for a
The
little
pain
bit.
spot,
But
yeah.
just because it's pain there doesn't mean the other aspects of that muscle aren't irritated, aren't annoyed, and aren't inflamed. So you got to work on like that whole thing.
Mm.
And then as long as that it's feeling like that good pain, that sore, that achiness, that's fine. If it's feeling like numbness, tingling, shocking, like then obviously you're doing something wrong. So you got to kind of be aware when you do it. Don't just like go into autopilot while you're doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Just like, am I doing it right? I don't
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, and
So
a
don't.
good.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say a
Good.
good
Good. Good.
indicator as well, if you're doing it right, is there's this like weird thing that happens if like it'll start bouncing like like I don't know if I get it like at a certain area like the gun will just start like bouncing, but if you get it in the right
Brother.
area, it won't get that bounce on it. Like especially if you get it on a back, like I don't know. Sometimes I've done it and it'll just start like the gun will start bouncing, and I don't know if that's because I'm hitting. Like, watch right there. You see how
Well,
it
you're
just
kind of like a bony like prominence too, so that could be it too. Like
yeah.
when you're on softer
See like right
tissue.
there how it'll just
Yeah.
start bouncing,
Yeah.
but it's like kind of near the location. It's like pretty much near the location. You want to make sure that you're holding the gun well and
Yeah.
you're not just like bashing it into your body part that's hurting, right? So
Yeah.
wanted to
Well,
get
when you
that.
feel, so like when I feel on patients, you know, when there's an irritated trigger point tightness, you can feel that. And like with like, if I've been doing it for so long, I can just feel that. So like I'll be like feeling a patient like trapped, especially, I'll be like, oh, I assume you're sore here. And they're like, wait, how'd you know that? And I'll be like, you can just feel it. You can
Magic.
feel that. Well, that tissue doesn't like, when you have like a non-irritated tissue, it'll be soft. Like you'll go like this, it'll be perfectly fine. But when I have an ear, like a trigger point or hypertonicity or like a spasm in that area, it's harder. It's
Mhm.
not able to rebound. It doesn't have that elasticity. It doesn't have that kind of nice rebound coming through there. So you can feel the difference. So that could be another component of why maybe sometimes you feel that bounciness if it's super hard and super irritating, you haven't done it in a while, is because that tissue is tighter. It's just a ball of like inflammation, irritation, annoyed nerves, muscle tightness, um, injured tissue, some adhesions, a little bit of scar tissue, probably if you've had it for a long time.
Mhm.
It's not like nice supple tissue like other non-injured areas. And
Yeah.
you can kind of feel it. I guarantee like maybe if someone's right-handed, their right trap might be a little tighter coming through here, and you can feel that. And then you compare it to left, you're like, oh, that does feel different. My left one feels softer, where I feel this one, and it's just like there's like a rock here. Like, why
Mm.
is that?
Mm.
And so that could be another reason why it's bouncing a little bit too, is because that muscle is just so irritated and tight that it's not allowing that. But I guarantee after you do it a while, then it'll start won't bounce as much because you're getting that tissue mobilized again.
I got you.
So
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, that's. I feel like we attacked literally every part of what I wanted to ask. I had all these questions and kind of just flowed into it through the conversation. Um, I wanna
it's just
thank you for
magic.
that was awesome, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Whoever's watching, because this is I truly believe that this is the most important conversation that gamers are not having enough in our
No,
world, and it will literally save your gaming career and also prolong it even like make it even longer, add way more longevity to it from somebody who's experienced it myself and seen it in my world. Dr. Drew, I want to thank you for your time, man. Thank you so much for coming on and
yeah.
explaining all of this stuff to us and giving us your expertise. Uh, where can people find you? You want to share some of your social media links, and I'll also have a link to your website, to your blog, on the. I want to put this up on YouTube, so I'll have a link on the
Okay.
description for your blog. But yeah,
Yeah, you can find me at forthewellnessblog.com. It's super long. I apologize, but FTW blog was already taken.
uh-huh.
So it's for the wellness blog and not the number four, FOR. And you can find me on Twitter, same thing. Like all my socials are for the wellness blog. I mainly use Twitter. I use a little bit of LinkedIn. I don't. It's all right.
Yeah,
Facebook is like no, I
yeah.
will not use Facebook. It just I have it on there for friends and family, and that's
Of
it.
course, of
So
course.
I mainly use Twitter. I love Twitter, and like LinkedIn has its moments where it's actually good.
Hmm.
And I use Insta a little bit, but mainly like my blog has all the links to that. And it's just for the wellnessblog.com. And like the last thing I'll say is like, as cheesy as it sounds, like this is like this is how you prolong your career. This is how you get more sponsorships. This is how you stream longer. This is how you make more money.
Hmm.
Is I always like sometimes you have to relate it to people financially and just say, you want to make more money? All right, cool. You need to take care of the thing that's actually making you cash. And what is that? Your hands, your
Yeah.
forearms. So put the little bit of time in that this takes initially to get this set up and get some decent routines, and you will see a difference. I can promise you, like if you're having pain, there's ways to address this, and it's a legit investment in the rest of your career doing something you love. And even if you're not professional, like doing something you love and having pain sucks. Like that'd be
It
awful. Like
does.
if I couldn't game because it hurt. Like I love gaming. So if I couldn't play it, it not only wears on you physically, it's going to wear on you mentally.
Yeah.
So this is an investment like in yourself and in your future. So just like do it and do something and start small and just start, it'll snowball onto each other because you'll start feeling better and be like, well, what else can I do? What else can I do? But this, like, I can't stress it enough. Like, this is how you create longevity in this space. So
No, absolutely. Oh, you guys heard
I'm
that.
I'm off the soapbox. I'm just jumping off the soapbox now.
No,
Now we're
you're
going down. Yeah.
it was perfect, man. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I really feel like you hit every point that needed to be discussed in terms of the taking care of our bodies and our hands and our arms for this world that we are playing in. And the biggest thing is just the mental health part of it, because once you
Yeah.
start feeling that pain, it just starts kind of degenerating, and you start questioning like, oh man, how much longer can I do this, and this and that. And this goes a lot to the younger gamers as well. Like I know some of the older players, like we've already been dealing with this for a while, and the stretching and all the things that we discussed today can really help out. But for the younger players, this could literally prevent you from having to go through the pain that we are going through right now. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys like the episode. And yeah, Dr. Drew, I appreciate your time, bro. Thank you so much. And everybody,
Yeah.
have a blessed day. And yeah, see you next time on Fight Right with Chris T.